streaming where you go from OBS to YouTube. So you hit start streaming on OBS, and YouTube takes about like 10-15 seconds before it goes live, and then before you know it, you're live, but you're still talking. Anyway, what you're going to hear now probably happened 20 seconds after I said it. Time delay. Hate the time delay. Hate the time delay. You know, it's a pain. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Which is why I end up having to turn the sound off. So whenever hey Chillster, how you doing? Whenever me and Paul go live, I have to make sure that the sound on my machine is all muted down. So when I'm listening to him through the earphones, it's real time between him and me. But in actual reality, hey D, how are you? But in actual reality, when we go live, your comments are always coming in like 20 seconds after we've probably said some things. There's always a bit of a delay kicking in. Hey Carl, hey Tarakangas. It's been a very productive 24 hours. No, a productive 12 hours. So today, I am, believe it or not, practically done with the Supercourse. The Supercourse is practically done. Hey Gene, it's practically done. Don't forget to hit like. Hey Abdullah. Hey Ornalid, how are you doing? So the Supercourse is practically done. All I've got to do is rework up the proposals, the contracts, the shorter contract, the maintenance contract, because I'm doing new versions of those. I need to do those up. Hey Nadia, I need to do those up, and then I need to stitch it all together. So I've got all the pieces. I just need to stitch it all together now onto one page. And then eventually I'm probably going to make it all, I'm going to make it, I may release it early. This is the thing, you know. What do you think? How many of you out there would love to see it early? So anyone who has already purchased the Supercourse, they could get access by, believe it or not, they may have access by the end of March. That will be a whole, potentially 4 weeks ahead of schedule. That'll be nice, won't it? 4 weeks ahead of schedule, you'll get it. You'll get it 4 weeks ahead of schedule. What do you think about that? Hey, Big Kahuna. Hey, Michael. So, D, what have I done with WooCommerce? I don't want to say a lot because I've recorded the video. I just need to edit it, but I don't want to say a lot for two reasons. Number one, I don't want to give it away. And number two, I just want to keep you guys hanging a little bit. I just want to keep you hanging just a little bit. Hey, Raheem, come in. Raheem's here, as always, doing his thing. What I do want to mention, though, is this survey ends in 21 hours. This survey, ends in 21 hours. Please, 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 if you've not completed the survey, and it is free, there's no sign up, there's no email, there's nothing you need to share. Can you please share that survey on other forums and other groups? If you have a newsletter, if you know other people that build websites, because I need to get as representative as possible to make it much more meaningful. Hey, Linda. I mean, whatever results we have are going to be good either way, but I was hoping that we'd get like a massive number. It's not a huge number. That's the trouble. We are over 100, but I was expecting a lot more than that. So maybe I should have left it open for longer. I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know. But the closing date is in 21 hours. So please make sure you share and have a look at that. Mohammed says, I learn a lot. You learn a lot from my videos. Thank you very much. To be honest, I learn a lot from all of you as well when I'm interacting and engaging. Some of you help me out with tips and tricks as well. It's not all me. I do not know everything. I think you kind of know that at the moment. But at the moment, things have been going really, really well. So this WooCommerce thing I'm doing, I'm not going to talk. In fact, I won't talk too much about it, okay? I did not. Are you talking about the Elemental Live for tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow, D, or have I got my time wrong? Linda. Well, to be honest, Linda, you could still complete it if you think you could give an indication of what you would be charging. So what do you think you would be charging, even if it's not completely factual, but it's very realistic and not exaggerated? You could still do it.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Mohammed says, can you make a video to reduce JavaScript? Have you seen the PageSpeed 2023 video, Mohammed? So my question to you is, have you seen the PageSpeed 2023 video? And I'm going to get the video for you. You need to go and look at that video. There is no magic bullet to reducing JavaScript unless you use like the asset cleanup plugin. But if you haven't got that plugin, then go and watch this video here, Mohammed, okay? Okay, D, I haven't checked my notifications, so I will do that. Hey, John, you're feeling honoured today. Why are you honoured today? Is it because I made you a group expert, maybe? Or why are you feeling honoured? So, a really, really good 12 hours. Literally, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you, in Syston, it just started and it's cold and, I hate that kind of rain. So, really good 12 hours. I spent 4 hours looking into a new way of using WooCommerce, and I seriously think I have found a really innovative way to do something that is really, really, really easy, simple, and I'm surprised no one has ever done that. To be honest, Mohammed, asset cleanups, perf matters, they're all good. The difference is that asset clean is free. So if you want to pay, go for Perf Matters. If you want the free version, Asset Cleanup. I know it's D. England and the rain is like, it happens all the time. So spent 4 hours with a WooCommerce solution. Been approached by 2 other people who want us to work on their websites, and they are what I class as hot. They are hot. They're not just probing, they are hot. So hopefully they go somewhere. And also finished the course. I finished the big bit of the course. I just need to redo the contracts and the proposal documents. We're going to have a new version of that for the Supercourse. And then I need to build it out. And I think the building out's going to take about 3 or 4 days. Potentially. Anyway, this entire course could be done and dusted by the 25th of March, 4 weeks ahead of schedule. And if you've already bought the course, and by the way, if you haven't bought the course, I would say please do go and check it out. Let me get you the link for it. And don't forget, if you're on the live chat, okay, only those people who are on the live chat get this special coupon code. If you're not on the live chat, even if you're in the Facebook group, you don't see this. You have to be on the live chat to get that code, which gives you a further reduction. Nice one, Big Kahuna. UK stands for under clouds. So, is anyone at the moment not having a good 2023? So we're midway through March. Is there anyone struggling at the moment during this year, 2023, where either you're going down in terms of income, or you're just status quo? You're not climbing up. Where are you? Are you climbing up, status quo, stagnating, or are you going down? What's happening with you and your business? So Mohammed goes, how can we secure the website from bad traffic like bots? To be honest, though, you could use WordFence. You could use all-in-one security. You could speak to your host. You could use Clean Talk for your spam. You could use Honeypot. You could use Recapture version 59. You could do as much as you want, right? You could do as much as you want. But at the end of the day, if you're going to get spammed or you're going to have a bot, it's very difficult to get away from. It's no different to you trying to spot unsolicited phone calls on your phone, when you get a random text message, when it's there is only so much you can do. And I know this for a fact because I know people that work in the UK intelligence service. And I'm not talking about the NHS, I'm talking about the intelligence service. And even they get spammed. Hey, Blake, how are you doing, my dear friend? And you're doing really well on the LinkedIn videos, okay? So keep it up, all right? Keep it up. You're doing well. You got a nice, you got a nice aura behind you with the colours and the highlights. Hey, Linda. Hey, Melissa. Right. So in terms of the question I asked about, in fact, let me just double check something. Yeah. So Manav says, could we rank our website on Google while using ChatGPT or ChatGPT-4? I don't know. If I'm honest, I'm not sure. You could use ChatGPT to help you rewrite a blog post that's doing really well and go, well, how can I compete or be as good as them? So my question about how is your business going? Tao Kanga says slightly down. Carl is going slow. Linda is saying slow start. John, business often want deals, but you get, yeah. So what I would say, yeah, well, John's also said it's been a tough time to get business. What you've got to do, yep, slow but move. The main thing is that, are you getting something? And what you have to remember is that even if it is slow, so what? Okay, I know it sounds really blasé, but we have slow months. We have slow periods as well. Okay. 3 of my jobs have all delayed until April for good reasons, proper reasons. Okay. But there's nothing to stop them pulling out in April either. They are what I call supernova jobs. You have a cold job, warm. You have a hot job where they look like they're going to work with you. Then you have supernova. Everything's in agreement. You know what you're doing. They're going to work with you. You're going to work with them, supernova. But we've not started yet. They could easily walk away. But then what you do is you use that time to do something. So you could create videos, you could create promotional material, you could revisit your website, you could revisit clients you have worked with. Can you offer them an incentive? Maybe you're going to say, hey, for £200, we will do your Google Analytics 4. Make sure you go from Universal Analytics to GA4. Sort that out for you before we hit July 2023. So you use the opportunity to always re-explore. You don't just sit there watching me on a live chat. Why would you do that? No, of course you got to do that. Of course you do that. But what you do is you use that time to learn, engage, network, all of that, okay? So even when things are a little bit slow, use that time to do something with your business. Don't just sit there. Don't just like hope, change your strategy. Look, here's the best strategy I can give you. Hey, Pickstar, how are you doing? Here's the best strategy I can give you, right? If you focus on personal trainer websites, or you want to build websites for, online teachers, tutors, right? Start interacting in the Facebook groups where they hang out. Start interacting with them on LinkedIn. You're going to go, I've just spent a whole day doing this and nothing's come of it. Something will come off it, because the more you play around, the more you're out there and they see you, the more they're going to remember you. 2 people that contacted me last night have found me on the back of me communicating and interacting with people. I've never interacted with them, but they have seen me and they've told me how they found me, right? So the interactions do pay off, okay? You become memorable, okay? You become memorable. Mohammed, if we use Cloudflare and we use Bunny CDN, will that work? Who says that will work, though, Mohammed? So rather than asking me, who told you it will work? Because Bunny CDN is good, but it's not perfect. Bunny CDN is fast, but not always. Cloudflare isn't going to completely protect you completely from a bot or whatever attack. That's what you got to remember, okay? You could have the most secure house in the world, but if someone's going to try and burgle you, they're going to try and burgle you. And that's the way it is. You could have the best car in the world, the most secure car, that's bulletproof window. But if someone's going to try and get in, they're going to try and get in, and they might get in. And that's just the world. That's the way of the world. Nothing is absolutely perfect. Unless you spend millions and millions and millions on pound on unhackable security. Well done, Cole. And that is a good strategy. I mean, it can take a while to pay off, but what you do is you find these other niches, you find the Facebook groups, you find the LinkedIn groups, and you go in. Do you know something, Mike? I was using Bunny CDN or BunnyNet or whatever it's called about 2.5 years ago. No, not 2.5 years ago. I lie. 2 years ago. No, it was 2 years ago. No, hold on. 2 years ago. Sorry. And what I found was for course lessons, it was really, really good. And it's really, really cheap as well. Really cheap, okay? However, sometimes it was slow. So let's say you put loads of videos on Bunny and then you've got them on a website. Sometimes the videos were really, really slow. And I mean 20 seconds before they returned. And when I checked with Bunny as to why, they literally just said, oh, it happens. There's nothing we can do about it. It happens. Exactly, Mike. Yeah, people do that as well. I mean, I've had that happen to me a few times as well. And I've then had to report it and the video gets taken down. They are ridiculously cheap, aren't they, Bunny? I mean, I still don't get how they are that cheap. I really don't. But then again, I can understand. Because in some way, it's a bit like, when someone says to you, right, you're going to pay... right now, I pay $2.99 a month for the Apple Cloud because I have loads of storage on there. And sometimes you sort of think, what are you actually paying for? What are you actually paying for, really? Yeah, there's a server space and all of that, but like $2.99, really? What are you really paying for? And I think that's where Bunny have they've just gone and go, well, no, we could charge £10 a month and we'd probably get that. But you know what? We're going to give you at such a low rate because we know that the value you're going to see in that actually works out for you. Yeah, to be honest though, Mike, you are right. Once they're in, it's okay. It's just sometimes I found the return was like really quick, or you literally had to click it and then it would start to kick in after a while. But anyway, it's still good. So, like we said, if your business is slow or not accelerating as much as you would want, stick at it, okay? Just stick at it. But explore other opportunities as well. Think about social media marketing. Not for you to do it. Sorry, I do mean for you to do it. In terms of offering it to your client. Like, and don't be cheap about it, okay? Some companies charge £100 a week. Now, if you could get a few companies that do that, that would be really good. Presto Player is good. Absolutely. Yeah, Mike, Presto Player, definitely. Definitely Presto Player. Kaya, is it possible to make Elemental Forms select options to be dynamic? So Kaya, can you explain that a little bit more? So when you say, by the way, please don't forget, if you have not already done it, let me just get it for you. I really, really need all of you, okay, to share this survey. That link I've just posted there, I need you to share that. Hey, Artif, I need you to share that survey to your groups, anyone you know that does websites, any other forums, because it closes in 21 hours. It closes in 21 hours, right? If you don't get it done today, you got a bit of time tomorrow. For anyone in America, you might still be waking up. So if you've not done it, please, 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 please complete that survey. Mohammed, what do I think about Crock-a-Block? Crock-a-Block is really good. However, I think it's quite complicated and complex, and I still haven't had time to really get dirty with understanding and learning it all yet. Wow. I mean, look, Michael's just given some great advice there. I'm not even going to pretend to understand what the SCIF and all of that is, but, exactly what he says there, which is how I like to think. Anything that is man-made can be exploited or hacked. That's the thing, right? There is no bulletproof way. What you can do, though, is put things in place to make it difficult. That is why we have locks on our door. That is why we have window lock. You do know, right, that in the UK, all these double glazed windows, there's a little thing, right, like a little little thing that if you stick into the corner of the frame will actually unlatch the window from the frame, right? It is so easy to do. It's unbelievable. I mean, Crock-a-Block does take some time. That's the thing. Crock-a-Block does take its time. But will it slow your website? To be honest, Mohammed, right? Everything will slow down your website depending on how you use it. Everything will slow it down. Even WooCommerce will slow down your website if you don't think about your JavaScript, your asset loading and all of that. Okay, so it's all about what you do and how you use it. Yeah, a Crock-a-Block does take some learning, and it takes time as well to record. I had a bit of a pain feeling then. I was approached by Crock-a-Block to do videos for them, and I was going to do it, and then I pulled out and said, I don't think this is fair. I don't want you to think I'm going to do it for you because I just don't have the time to sit here and learn it. The amount of time it takes for me to sit and learn it and then record and do it, I could be doing other stuff. So I've got to factor that in. So Artif is debating on whether or not a refurb. Do you know something? I wouldn't bother with a 2017 MacBook, Artif. If you're really going to go for it, yeah. If you're really, really, really going to go for it, you've got to go for a 2020 MacBook. You've got to go with the M1 chip. Do not go for an i5 or an i7 or anything like that, Artif, okay? If you're really, really, really going to go for one, Artif, right, you've got to go for the M1, okay? M2 even better, but right now, the 2020 version MacBook M1, it is silent, trust me. It is super good, really powerful, really, really good, all right? There's nothing wrong with a refurbished machine, Artif, but I'm telling you, yeah, I'm telling you as if, look, right now, Artif, I am talking to you like I'm your uncle, okay? I'm your uncle, right? You want to get one for your nephew? Well, I'm treating you like my nephew, right? And I know he's only 12. Artif, but I'm telling you, if you're going to get him a MacBook, right, Air 2017, you might as well get him a MacBook Air 2020. Because the 2017 Artif is 6 years old. It's a 6-year-old machine, right? Even the 2020 that I've got is a 3-year-old machine, but I'm telling you, it's super, super good. So Artif, from one uncle to another, okay? Go and get the M20, all right? Don't forget to hit the like button. We've only got 9 likes. Please do make sure you complete this survey. If you have not done it, you must share that survey to everyone you know, all the groups, forums, whatever. There's 21 hours to complete it. In fact, there's now just under 21 hours. So Kaya is saying they got a form and they add a field select. I want for this field to add options manually. Oh, Good question, that actually, Kaya. That's a good question. I think you might need a plugin for that, but I'm not sure. Linda bought 2 aged Macs. How old were those Macs though, Linda? Linda, how old were those Macs? Were they like 2009 or something? Yeah, Kaya, this is what I'm thinking. I think you might need ACF Pro. I don't know. You might need ACF. I don't know. You might need ACF Pro. You might need to actually go and check in the Elemental group if you want. You know, the Facebook Element, or even the Web Squadron. Where am I doing? Go to the Web Squadron Facebook group and just ask your question there. Exactly what Pickstar is saying there, Artif. I'm telling you, 6-year-old MacBook Air, right? Everyone is talking about the M chip. You got to get the M1, all right? An M1 2020, a 2020 M1 MacBook Air shouldn't be that expensive as a refurbished now, and there's going to be loads of people selling them on because they want to get the M2 chip or something like that. Yeah, Linda, that's yeah. If you were on the Leopard or the Snow Leopard or even Big Cat, you would have been on 2000. They must have been 10 years old, probably. Because when I got my first ever Mac, at that time, I think it was Leopard or Snow Leopard. It was version 10, but it just became version 10. Yeah, that was a while ago. And it was a great machine, but I'll tell you what, they... Yeah, it's a great machine. Yeah, so Kai, sorry I can't give you any major tips or advice on that. Why am I pushing you all to get the survey done? Mainly because, hey, El Jedi, I'm just going to post this link here for you. Hope you're all right. Please go and click that link and fill in the survey if you have not already. The reason why that survey closes tomorrow is because tomorrow evening I'm going to assess the results and then do charts and graphs and stuff, and hopefully get a video out on Monday that talks about the results, and I will be making the results available for everybody as well, so you can go and look at them in your own time. You can go and look at what was the range of values for Australia for the different referral types. What were the actual values? But what are the values if we benchmark them? So what is the was it GDP? Yeah, what is the GDP or whatever it is per capita, right? So where it's benchmarked, where they're all, it gives us it's already then done in a scaled list that I can then benchmark. So rather than me saying to you, Australia makes triple the amount of money someone makes in India for a basic website, but when you then benchmark it against a capita, then you might go, actually, even though for us, a website built in India would be very cheap, and I'm saying that's generalistically, right? When you work it out per capita, actually, it's relatively comparable to what someone pays in America. Does that make sense? So, like in America, a basic website might be $3,000. In India, it might be $50. But when you work it out based on the GDP per capita, right, when you benchmark it, all of a sudden, our brains then click into gear and go, actually, per capita, when you benchmark it, India are paying almost the equivalent or more. By the way, I don't even know if that's true or not because I haven't really looked at the results yet. But that's what I'm planning to do. I'm not just going to say to you, oh, here's the results. Here's which country gets more. No, I'm going to benchmark it because I used to do analytics. It's what we used to do all the time. El Jedi, there are a lot of videos with bricks that's really confusing. Is it better, Flexbox, to have columns or CSS grid? Okay, so it depends on what you like working with. I have to say that I'm not overly bothered by whether I have CSS grid or not. CSS grid allows you to kind of like, so if you imagine, look at the screen right now, okay? Let's say that's a grid. R2 is a grid. My head is a grid. My body is a grid. Over here where the Pepsi is, that's a grid. And down here with the Mandalorian, that's another grid. 6 grids, right? And I might then go, right, this grid here is going to be that big. That grid over there is going to be that big. Whatever, you know, this grid over here is going to be 2 blocks high. So doing stuff with grids allows you to be very particular about your layout. Whereas with containers and columns, there's only so much you can do. But if you really want to go for like a mosaic masonry effect layout, this is where the CSS grid really kicks in. But it's all down to what you want to build. And 9 times out of 10, I would say 99% of the time, I don't think I would ever have to bother with a funky layout. Remember, you got to think about your clients, right? Just because you know we can do entrance animations, does your client need it? Just because you know we can do all of these accordion styly things, does the client need it? Just because we know we can do mega menu, does the client's website need it? And sometimes I would say with some layouts, you can keep it pretty simple. And this is why the Flex container works pretty well. But if you want to be a little bit different, or you want to do some things, with terms of layout and everything, then the CSS grid can be really powerful, But I personally, for me, I would always go with the Flexbox container. I personally find it's less hassle to work with. So Ornalid is saying to Kaya that jet form, you can do it. There you go. That's what I was wondering. I didn't want to say jet form Crockablock, but I had a feeling that it was either going to be ACF Pro or one of them. So what you would do then is you're pulling through the custom field to be selectable in the way that, well, it's probably going to take a bit of work. Hey Nick, what is the best plugin for making a good price list for my salon website? Well, you have the price widget. You could use... it depends on the complexity, though, of what you're trying to show. So I would say it depends on the levels. And this is going to sound like a cop-out answer, Nick. But if you go to Google and say pricing plugin, and then search for the latest month. So go to Google, WordPress pricing plugin, and then you say the latest month. So you're going to get loads of results. But you could also just build it out as well. Alyo, where can I find quality Indian WordPress developers? How can I screen test a result? So first question I have for you is, why would you need Indian WordPress developers? Is that because you're based in India, so you need to be able to communicate and work with them? Number 2, what do you do? Now this might sound really direct, right? But Alvo, what do you do? So rather than me telling you where you're going to find them, my question to you is, what do you do? Because what you do and why you need them might help you answer your question. In terms of screen and testing them, well, you'd have to see their portfolio. Pretty simple, really, right? You would go to their portfolio, you look at their website, you look at them, you look at what they can do. You've said WordPress developer, so are you after more than just page builder? Are you after JavaScript coder, funky stuff? You ask them that question. You ask them to give you an example or show you somewhere where they've used it. It's no different to like me saying, where do I find a good analyst in the UK? Well, where would I normally go to hang out? How would I normally find someone? What is it? What do I want from them? And then when I get them in, I'll have an interview question for them. What do you want? Or what can you do? Okay, I need someone who can do SQL data mining and analysis and all of that, right? Tell me how you've used that to create a report. I would ask them to explain to me where have they used it. How did it benefit them? How did it make what they were wanting to produce more efficient? What did you do with the result? Did you present it? Did you analyze it further? Did you present it? Tableau, reporting services. So in terms of screen and testing, what you need to be answering yourself or tell us is, why do you need them? What are you going to ask them to do? Okay, and what do you do? What do you do? Bunter's Kante, any tips to find the class name of a WooCommerce block? You could just right click it and inspect it and you'll get the class name. You could also use site origin CSS, click it and it will give you the class name. You could use microthema, you get the class name. But there's many ways you could do that, but you could just right click it. There you go, look, Pickstar's done it. You just right click it and inspect it. Would be the very first thing I would do. You might need to move around a little bit because sometimes you got to go, well, where is it? But somewhere you're going to get dot class name. Well, it won't say class name, but you kind of know it's the class name. It becomes a bit obvious which one is the class name and which one isn't, kind of thing. Right, okay, right, I'm just going to quickly double check some questions that have come from, well, some emails that have come from. One of them is a little bit interesting and I need to check what it's for. Don't want that. Spam. Spam. I've just been hit by about 15 spam emails. Oh no, what's this? Create unique looking lists. No, I don't really bother about that. So here's someone who contacted us this morning. Could you send me a couple of website links to showcase your work for my CEO? What? I get a bit annoyed by emails like that because it's a bit like, okay, fine, you're contacting me, but anyway, this is someone who contacted me this morning, and what they said was they want to work with us, they like what we do and all of that. Then they've said, can you send me some website links to showcase? Yeah, later, I'll do that later. So what you're looking for is a menu style price. When you say menu style price, can you elaborate a little bit more than that? Because you could build your own pricing list as well. Don't forget, right? You're going to have a column. You're going to put in a header. You might put in a line. You might put a bit of shading in. You put in a bit of text. You put a bit of pricing. You put a checkbox. You put a tick. There's loads of stuff you can do. Heidelum. Right. So this is Heidelum. So you said video is shown with translate. You should say, yeah, don't worry, mate. You're talking about the repeater field video I did. I'm afraid that using only one image source is blah, 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 blah. To make it life to mine, no, please help me write down sub-sim easiest formula. Heidelum, I'm struggling to understand what you want because you're saying formula, but I don't quite get what you mean by a formula, if I'm really sorry. So I'm really sorry, but I just don't quite understand what you're asking for there. Diego, what units do you use for padding and margin? Sometimes I use pixel, sometimes I use EM. I have moved more towards using clamp for padding and margin. We did a video about 4 weeks ago on how we could use clamp to make better responsive websites for your font, your image, your margin, your padding, all of that. So we did a video about 4 weeks ago on that. Yeah, well, this is the funny thing, isn't it, Linda? Like, someone contacts you, they go, oh yeah, we like what you do and all of that. Can you give us a rough quote for our website? You give them a rough proxy price, whatever. They kind of still interested. You exchange another email. By the way, I'm keeping the amount of time I spend to less than 2 minutes because I treat them like, when you win, you win. When you lose, don't care, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, to be honest though, clamp is the method, but inside of there, it's like it's kind of based on REM, which I know some people say don't use REM, use EM instead, but either pixel or EM, to be honest. But yeah, now this person goes, can you send me a couple of website links? Yeah, fine, we'll do that. I will do that, but it's like, got to send them links now. So, right, I get it. You meant like a restaurant menu. So what you want is Categories, services under that. Again, though, this is something you could build manually. You could just do your containers and then you put your text in. You could just do it manually. You could build each one of your menu items as a post with custom fields. And then what you do is you create a loop grid and you pop them all into there. So you put the word menu at the top and then you pop all your items in. There's no buttons. You remove the buttons. They don't go anywhere to like a single post or whatever. But you could do it as a loop grid as well with custom fields if you are going to break down the menu. So it might be you say breakfast, here's all the items. And then you might have a repeater field or just custom fields where you now talk about the ingredients and the calories. I mean, that's kind of similar to the repeater field explainer video I put out today. What is a repeater field? How many of you, until you were taught or you understood or learnt about repeater field, actually understood what a repeater field was? You know, what was a repeater field? To be honest, Artif, when we were kids, right, we were lucky if we got a McDonald's Happy Meal, mate. You were lucky if you got ice cream when we were kids. God, you were lucky if you got anything when we were young, right? But I would say, Artif, if you are going to get a MacBook Air for your nephew, and even though he's only 12, go for a MacBook Air 2020 version with the M1. Make sure it's a minimum M1 chip, even if it's a basic one, right? Do that, and you'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, back to Nick. You could do a loop grid with custom fields and everything inside, or you could just build it out, right? You could just build it out manually. My best advice to you is to go to Google, type in WordPress pricing plugin, right? No, don't do pricing. Do WordPress pricing menu. No, restaurant menu plugin or something like that. Hey, Irishman, go to a restaurant menu plugin, change the results option or tools to be the latest month. There's bound to be a blog post and all of that or something on it. Is it possible to make all table content clickable? Yeah, as long as they point to something, Irishman. So you're going to make sure they point to something. No way, Big Kahuna. Tell me why you're still confused. Tell me which bit is confusing you, and I'll happily talk about it again, Big Kahuna, and it's okay. Don't worry. Go on, explain it. Which bits are you confused about? Stephen Park, what are your thoughts on the site origin page builder? I've never used it. So I can't comment on it. Never used it. Yeah, I mean, it all depends, though, on the level you want to go down, Nick, you know. And what you could do, Nick, okay, is you could, let me just get the link and make sure you don't miss it. So just stay there for a moment. What you could do is scribble. Grab a bit of paper, right? And do a scribble over what you would like your menu to look like. Will it have prices? Will it be broken down? Go and do that, right? And then what I want you to do is go over to that group. Go to that Facebook group that I've just posted there for you, okay? And go and put a copy of what you're trying to achieve, like a photo there. And I'm sure me and other people will comment on it with advice about what we think you might want to go for or possibly do. RT, it's between buying something small and portable or going with a hacked window. Ooh, hacked. When you say hacked window 11, ooh. So Aishman, when I click on the icon to expand, I want it to expand. What? When I click on the icon, it expands, but I want it to be expandable when I click anywhere on table of content. I'm not sure I understand, Aishman. So you got a table of contents. When I click on the icon, it expands, which it will do. But I want it to be expanded when I click anywhere. Isn't that a setting in the table of contents where it's always expanded? I think you can set it to be expandable all the time. Yeah. Big Kahuna, maybe I just need to rewatch a few times to beat it into my head. Yeah. Do you know what? Think of it like this, okay? My website, I have a post type for organization, right? My post type is organization. I then go and add a new post, and I then type apple.com. Apple is my brand new post. Inside of there, I can put an image, I can put a description, and then I have a custom field, and the custom field is team name. I'm now going to type in developers, and as soon as I do that, now I can do the repeater fields for developers, and the repeater fields are name, role, phone number. There are 10 people that work in developer, right? So I will now pop that in. I'll pop the 10 in, okay? Yeah, or something like that. Sometimes even I have to stop and think about it a little bit. The field name is developer. Yeah, something like, anyway, yeah, basically like that, something like that. There aren't that many good user cases, to be honest, either online, which is a bit annoying. You know, it's a bit annoying that there's not that many good user cases. But I think I try to give an explanation, and I know it's not. It's one of those things where with repeater fields, you have to get used to it, and eventually you will do with what they're saying. But let me try and explain that again. Your post type will be apple.com. Post is apple.com, right? Your custom field might be developer, and then you go in and add in your all the fields that relate to it. Hey George, how you doing? Yeah, Aishman, I don't think you can do that unless you use a different plugin. You won't be able to do that unless you go and use another plugin. And Aishman, something I've been meaning to say to you, okay? You will have noticed I've not been replying to you whenever you email, and there's a reason I haven't. If anyone here emails me and I can't give you an answer within 1 minute, then I treat it as something that is now private consultation, and there's only so much free time and effort I give. Yeah? So if you send an email which is this long, with loads of text, and I have to study and read and interpret, that's going to take me time. It's not worth my time. I have to be brutal there, okay? If I get really long emails on private messages, email, and unless it is like a short, snappy thing, I don't spend time doing it. Because if I spent time analysing and studying and answering fully all of the big emails I get, I can tell you now, I would lose 2 or 3 hours a day. That is time and a half. So I don't like to do it. Nice one, George. Hey, George is always busy. George is always working hard. You know, he's always putting in the hours. I'll tell you what, Big Kahuna, let me try and come up with a better case, okay? You're right. Let me try and come up with another scenario, and I'll share it on a live chat. You know, I'll share it on screen and try and come up with a better scenario to think about. It's a weird one, really. It's a really Hey, Dave, how are you doing? You might have noticed that I've started upgrading some people in the Web Squadron Facebook group to be experts, because I feel like they deserve recognition, the amount of support and help they give regularly in the group, and also they are very good at what they do. And I just feel like they deserve recognition. What are you up to, Dave? By the way, Dave, how are things going with you and your business? How are things going? Do you know what? George probably is on 3 different computers. He'll have his work, he'll have Hogwarts Legacy, and then over here he's probably got some sort of like the YouTube and stuff. And he hones out of the YouTube, he focuses, but he can hear it. But he has got his eye on Hogwarts as well. So he's working, but he's got his eye on Slytherin. He's got his eyes on it. That's how good he is. So yeah, last 12 hours have been really, really, really productive. Finding a different way of doing a WooCommerce thing. And it's not about styling. Some people think I'm going to talk to you about styling. It's not about styling. It's something different, but it's something that a lot of people have wondered about. And in the past, they've gone elsewhere to get that kind of solution. And what I'm going to show you is, which I'll show you on Monday or even Tuesday when I'll release it on Tuesday, is doing something whereby you don't need any extra plugin or any code snippet. In fact, there's no code whatsoever. There is no code whatsoever at all. That's how good it is. Right at the end of the video, I then do add a code snippet to do something a little bit extra. You don't have to do it, but it's a little bit extra. But I surprised myself because I was just thinking about it and I thought, hey, I wonder. It just came to me. And I started playing with it, tweaking it, even created a dedicated page for it so I could show it when I do the video. But yeah, you'll see that on Tuesday, okay? I know, George, I had to drop in the Hogwarts one. I wanted to kind of just make you get like cold turkey and start sweating a little bit. Do you know what? Right, yeah, I'm not even going to try to understand binary, okay? I'm not even going to try to understand it whatsoever. Oh, D, I'll tell you now, yeah, I'll tell you now. There's no point trying to second guess it. Because you know what? You might be disappointed when you see it. You might not be disappointed. Which plugin is it, Eichmann? What? You mean the one my solution might help you to not bother about? That's the thing, though. Mine is not a challenger to another plugin. But what it does is, in a way, means you don't have to use other plugins to do something. And if you're very much used to WooCommerce and the WooCommerce settings, and you're very much used to Elementor and all of that, then you'd be fine. No way, George. You taught binary to 8th graders. What did they ever do to you? Poor kids. Poor kids. Eichmann, you need to go and search, mate. Eichmann, look. There comes a point in life, yeah, where you've got to go to Google. So you've got to go to Google and say you need a WordPress table of content plugin that is clickable. And then you will get a list of plugins, and then you've now got to assess each and every single one of them, right? That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Dave, everything is going really well. Heading back from the gym with a client. Heading back from the gym with a client, then you head back to web design. Does that mean you've been to the gym with the client? Or you met the client at the gym? I think it was you went to the gym and with the client, right? I think so. Portfolio is nice for ACF. I've not checked that out, Matty Check. Not had a look at that one yet. So when is this video coming out? Well, okay, so Monday, the survey video. You gotta complete this damn survey, okay, everyone? And you gotta share it out. You gotta if you're part of a group for web design, don't care if it's WordPress, Webflow, Breakdance, whatever. You gotta let people know, right? You gotta let people know. I need to get more people to complete that, right? Please share the survey. So Monday, the results of that will come out in a video, okay? And we can talk about it in the Monday live chat as well. Tuesday, the WooCommerce video thingy-midgy that I've worked on and done comes out. Yeah, good point by Artif. Rank Math does use table of contents. I think he's looking for a toggle option, though, Artif. I think he's looking for a toggle option. Michael, I do not want to understand network subnetting, right? It's bad enough trying to get my printer to work in the old days when I did used to have a printer. It was bad enough when you were in an office, Michael, and you were trying to get your computer set up with the printer. And then it says IP address. And then you kind of like go, does anyone know the IP address? No one knows the IP address. You go and look at their machine and you can't even get the IP address there. Then you ring up IT. Oh, well, it depends on the machine or printer. You go, yes, the printer is that one. Yeah, we've got to come down. 2 days later, and even they struggle to connect up your laptop to the office printer. Right? If you couldn't connect to the office printer, your entire work life came to a halt. Like, yip, right? Yip, that's it. Everything stopped. You stopped working. Even though you could use email, you could use SQL, you could use Tableau, you could use data mining, you could access folders and networks. If you could not access the office printer, this is what you did. I can't work. I can't print out. I need to print out this email. I can't answer this email unless I print it. There used to be people in the office, right? They used to make me laugh. I used to just look at them and go, what is your problem? Oh, I need to print out the email before I reply. Like, what? Did you know people like that? Every time they got an email, rather than just replying to it, they would print it out. And they weren't even long emails. Oh, I love the IT guys. The IT crowd, the series is brilliant. The emails weren't even long. They were a short email, but they had to print out the email before they could reply. What's up, mate?
Nothing's just coming. Somebody put lol. So many lols.
So many lols. That's George. George is always doing that. George is always laughing out loud. In fact, when he's laughing
out loud too.
He's laughing out loud.
Laughing like very.
Okay, right. Safiq, okay, hold on, Raheem. Safiq says, do you have a method or tips to manage huge design library for efficient work? That comes down to your methodology, to be honest. You know, you might have like folders where you keep like branding, inspiration ideas, fonts, color palettes, etc. So I would say all you got to do is create a folder structure where you keep things. What's up, mate?
George puts school on strike with him. Yes.
They were on strike, but
it's been the last 2 days of strike. 2 days of strike, and yeah.
He never stops talking, does he? The school was on strike, but he still went in.
Yeah.
He still went in.
I wanted to.
Because some kids can still go in, but he still went in. Michael, I'm partial. Hold on, that rings a bell. 127001. Why does that ring a bell, Michael? 127001. What is that? Why does that ring a bell? Yeah, Safiq, I just answered your question there. Yes, you got to like think about your folder structure and everything there. You're right, mate. Come in, do you want to sit down? Hold on. Let me just.
Pickstar put nerd, please.
Yeah, we are. We are the nerd police, aren't we? We love being nerds, don't we? Are you a nerd, Raheem? Yeah, I'm a nerd. Are you a nerd? I'm a geek.
Who's a nerd?
If you're all right, everyone here watching right now, please do hit like. Everyone here watching right now, okay? If you are a nerd or a geek, put it down. You're allowed to be both. So go on, put down the word. Are you a nerd? Are you a geek? Are you not? Say so. Nerd, geek, both not.
If you're not a nerd, then you don't learn.
Right. In fact, I'm gonna create a poll. Let's just create a quick poll. All right. So I'm gonna create a quick poll. What are you? Right, we're going to create a poll. So I'm going to say nerd. We're going to go for geek.
What is a geek?
A geek?
Yeah.
Good question, actually. I mean, geek is someone who gets really excited, right, about stuff. So I feel like I am both of them.
I'm both of them too. Because I'm a nerd.
There you go. The poll is now live, all right? The poll is now live. Okay, what are you? What are you? Hey, come on, get your answers in. So Nick says both. George says no. El Jedi says I'm a freaky. I'm a freaky.
No, let me see.
I'm a frickie.
What does it say? What does it say?
I'm a frickie. Does that mean freak? Does that mean freak? What's a frickie?
What's a freak?
Hey, Dave's
Shut
hey, Dave, anyone who goes to the gym with their client, you're not a geek. You're a god, okay? You went
I
to the
work out
gym
a
with your
lot.
client. You are a god, okay?
I don't have to drive.
This will
to the
show
gym.
what I
I'll
am.
take it away.
Please define each one. Do I have to define it now? Atif, I've just defined what you need to do with your MacBook. You got to get an M1 chip, and now I've got to define all of this. Okay, just going to check some of the questions coming in now. Aishman, how did you learn new things about Elementor? The same way I learned Photoshop, the same way I learned Tableau, the same way I learned SQL. You experiment, you play, right? When the beta version of 3.12 came out for Elementor with Mega Menu, when the loop grid came out, when the carousel came out, you go in and play, you experiment, and that is what you've got to do with everything. That is what you're going to do. Please do hit the poll button. All right, at the moment, what are the results showing, Raheem? Who's winning?
Both.
Both is winning. 63%. Nerd and geek.
None. 5%.
5%.
Whoever is none, we don't know.
I don't think you can say that right. He goes, anyone who is none, they don't learn.
No. Anybody that is both.
Okay, Red Arrow. Really? Red Arrow is flying over Lincoln. What? Are they training or a show, John? Weeb. Ah, yes, that's another
What is
option.
a red arrow?
A red arrow is a plane. You know, I'll show you. I'll show you the red arrow plane. Hey, Sinan, how you doing? And Maticek, how you doing as well? Great to have you here. So,
Everybody.
all right, say goodbye, Raheem, because he's going.
Bye.
Bye. Go.
Wait, wait.
Go. Okay, can you shut the door? Shut the door. Shut the door. There you go. Door shut. Ooh, hold on. Someone has just put a message on for me saying they're getting... Oh, someone's having 404 errors on their website. They're not one of our clients, but they just asked me, can I just advise them a bit? Yeah, even though it means I'm going to have to click their link and have a look at it, I will have a look at it. I've got a feeling it's because they moved their website from one hosting platform to another. Because what I did say to them is on their original host, where they had their domain, there was the domain name was, it had loads of characters after the domain name, which did not make sense. It was something to do with how they'd originally set it up. Nothing to do with us, but it is something I did say to them. You need to get that checked out. So Dave, I went to the gym as part of my part-time. Oh, okay, Dave. Got you. Hey, still right. Yeah, but so does that mean then you were... Oh, I get it. Does that mean you get to participate then, Dave? Do you get to participate, or do you just stay with them? And do you have to pay to get in? Or do you get to go in for free? Ha ha. You know, do you have to do that as well? Yeah, good advice, George. Good advice there. John, they are based 2 miles from my house and they practice at this time. Oh, right. Okay. Got you, John. Just 2 miles. Wow. Just 2 miles away. That's that must be, yeah, you must be able to see them then all the time whenever I'm in the air. How many code languages do you know? Well, I know, well, I'm okay with HTML. I'm okay with CSS. I can mess around with JavaScript if I know what I need to mess around with. I'm an expert on T-SQL, SQL. I know, I'm an expert on that. But yeah. In terms of website, I don't really need the SQL side because I don't get involved in that. But hey, Andrew. Hey, Linda. How are you doing? So in terms of Aishman's question, how many languages. Well, I don't need to get massively crazy with hunker-dunker HTML and CSS and JavaScript. There's other solutions as well, you know. Did you notice that kind of, George? I was like, sometimes I do. Yeah. But yeah, HTML, CSS, you know, SQL, JavaScript when I really, really need to. But I don't need to do C programming. I don't need to do any of that for the fact that we have so much tools at our disposal. In fact, you could even say like AI. AI now makes it even more easier to do stuff, right? Yeah, Dave, you get to use all the equipment for 2 hours every day, including swimming, and he doesn't have to pay for it. Holy heck. Dave can go to the gym every day for 2 hours and he doesn't have to pay for it. Dave, you are in heaven. All right, Dave, you're not alive, Dave. I think you need to realize that you're living in limbo, in purgatory. You think you're alive, you're not. All right, you're dead. You're in heaven, okay? D drives past a Navy base to Key West. They fighter jets training. Wow. I bet it does, you know. I bet it does. You know when you hear that sound, that must be amazing. Andrew, if I figure out how Discord's okay. Discord's okay. You know, it's just another platform, though. I mean, I'm part of a Slack group for something. Then you got Discord. Then obviously you have Facebook notification, LinkedIn. Sometimes, right, the amount of places you have to hang around it does get a little bit, not claustrophobic, but it gets a little bit like, oh man, another place. But there's always benefits to each one. Do I have any interest on React or Vue? Honestly, Feek, no. No, because I don't need to meddle with it. Right? I don't need to meddle with React or Vue. I don't need to. So, I don't need to. Plain and simple. Just like GSAP, Green Shift or whatever. Funky animations. I don't need to get funky or dirty with any of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to check something, by the way. While I'm still talking to you, all right. I'm just going to check my heart. If it works. Why is my heart thing not working? There you go. I'm just checking my heart. So I may be calm and quiet for the next 30 seconds. So I'm still here. Okay, I'm just checking my heart rate. All right. Because sometimes I have to do that. Because I had a heart attack 2.5 years ago. So I do have to check stuff. Yeah, everything's fine. Cool. Sorry. I had to check it. You know when you're checking your monitor, the heart thing and your rate and all of that. I mean, what I would say, yeah, is the reason why I don't get dirty with Vue, Angular, React to any of them is time. And I'm not trying to say I am busier than anyone, but when you have family, when you have clients, when you have live chats, when you have video production, when you have social media and all of this stuff, it starts to, it gets very, very difficult. So Raheem wants to know who's winning.
Ned, 17%.
11.
Geek, 25%. And both is 57.
54.
54, man. Oh my god. I'm getting enormous mix up. But, yeah. both is pretty good.
No, I'm going to do a magic trick, right? I'm going to click my fingers and you're going to disappear out this room and shut that door. Damn it.
Third time's always lucky.
Go on, mate. I'll be in a bit, all right? I'll be in a bit.
I went on my PC and did chapter 2.
Okay, well done. Did you write chapter 2? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I'm really happy for you. Now shut that door. Right, cool. Yeah, shut the door. Doritos, Beth. Yes, Kalinda, please go and ask your question. I might be able to help, or someone else might be able to chip in, or I might direct you over to the Web Squadron Facebook group where we have over 2,500 members. We have loads and loads of experts in that group. So please go and ask your question here, Kalinda, about ACF. No, George, I think it's just because what it is because it's far away, you see, and on the screen. That's all it was. He has got really good eyesight, George. He can see things, and I'm like, where did you see that? He'll spot stuff on the TV as well, and I haven't even clocked onto something. He's really, really good at stuff like that. Michael's got 10 fighters. Wow. When will the Facebook group request be accepted? Well, that's because I haven't gone in and looked at it, Aishman. One thing you got to do, Aishman, you've got to be patient, okay? You've got to learn to be patient, all right? Because if you rush to do everything, you will always struggle. Always be patient. Yeah, exactly what Artif says, yeah. Artif says, there's loads of stuff I don't need for projects, therefore I don't need it. The moment I get to a point where I know we're going to have to play with GSAP or something like that for a client's request. By the way, though, if a client said to me, oh, we're going to do X, Y, Z, and I need to now do GSAP and everything like that, unless they're paying a premium, I probably won't take on the job. Because then I got to factor in learning time. Can I actually do it? Do I feel comfortable doing it? And will I get it done? And sometimes I will go until I know I'm semi-comfortable. Why do I want to take on that stress? So I'm very picky with what I want to go for. I mean, yeah, to be honest though, yeah, Dave, you are right. It would have been great to learn. I mean, I wish I'd learned JavaScript years ago. Years and years ago, right? I wish I'd done that. I wish I had really fine-tuned the hard coding element side of things. But, time moves on. Hang on, you've jumped out of a C-130 and a C-141. What are you? What? Is that an aircraft name? I don't know. Right, anyway, Colinda. I want to have the update, but it is only a pay... oh, right, okay, so you want ACF Pro. What? Sorry, Kalinda, are you talking about ACF Pro here? Oh, yeah, to be honest, John, I'm always doing continuous learning, but I find a lot of the learning I'm doing is beneficial to a lot of the stuff I share out with all of you. But at the moment, GSAP doesn't fall in my plate at the moment. Is there someone who knows another way? Sorry, are you talking about ACF Pro, Kalinda? Where you... Is that what you're talking about? Sorry, I'm not sure. Is that what you're talking about when you say the 550? Oh, right. Oh, wow, Michael. You're a former paratrooper. Hey. Wow. Yeah, okay, Kalinda. So, I mean, to be honest, right, yeah. What you've got to weigh up here is, do you need to use ACF Pro to get you one? Could you use ACF Free and get Dynamic OO to maybe do what you want to do with ACF? Could you use pods? Because that comes with post type and lots of other stuff that you have to pay for in ACF as well. So it depends on... My question back to you, Kalinda, is why would you need to pay for ACF? What is one of the features that you're using where you need to have the Pro version? Hey, take care, Pickstar. Great having you here, mate. As always, that's real. See you soon, mate. Video boy, anyone have any tips to deal with procrastination? Yes. Here's my tip, video boy. Right? Here's my tip to stop procrastination, everyone. Don't think. Do more. So when I was writing, I used to say to other writers, don't think, write more. Don't have the perfect paragraph. Don't edit the words. Just write the words. Right? Write the damn book. Just write it. Get to the end. Then you edit it. Then you refine it. Then you correct it. Then you sort it out. Right? What you do, video boy, is don't think, do more. Just get it done. Just get it done. The Supercourse, the bulk of it is now done as of today. I have to tweak and refine a few bits. I know that. When I put it together, I might go, oh, that should have been done differently. I'll do that then. But what you don't do is create the perfect whatever. Get it done. When you design a homepage for a client, get it done. Then they review it. You tweak it. You perfect it. In fact, when I do the homepage, sometimes I don't spend too much time on the mobile. I'll spend a bit, but I won't make it picture perfect. You know why? Because I want them to now tell me, yeah, we're okay, we're good. Tweak, refine, perfect it. Get it done. That's how you get rid of procrastination, right? Okay? When you paint a wall, you don't paint it, you don't make it brilliant. You do the best you can, but you get the first coat on. Then you do the second coat and you refine and you perfect it, okay? You get it done. You get it done. Oh wow, D, you were tandem instructor. So Kalinda wants the gallery, and I need the sort for input the names. I think Pods does the gallery. Does Pods do the sorting? I can't remember. But Pods is free. Pods is a free plugin. However, if you've already built out the website and you're already actively using these fields, how much time do you really want to spend redoing anything? You know? Yeah. I mean, there is ACF front end as well. There's ACF front end where you could style the form. You know, ACF front end, you could use that to style your ACF fields to look like the single post or product page. So ACF front end, which is free, you could get that, and then you could create your page or however they do it. So when they're adding in the bits and pieces, it looks like the single post page. Yeah, exactly like Mike says. My strategy, right, is when you build out a website is get your plugins in, get your API in, make sure all your plugins and API work, right? So when you do a WooCommerce website, before you build the homepage, get the WooCommerce in, make sure the payment gateway works, make sure things work. Make it work. Because there's nothing worse than you building the homepage, about page, contact page, product page, single product page, shop page. You do all of that, then you test it out, and there's a problem with the gateway. There's a problem with what the client gave you, what they set up with Stripe. Maybe something got declined. All of that effort. What you want to do is get the hard stuff done, and then you refine. Now we know the WooCommerce works. Now we know that the product, the sales work. £1, it went through. You got an email, the email went through. Everything is tickety-boo. Right, now we do the header footer. Now we do the homepage. Because now you know the important bit for a WooCommerce website wasn't the logo. It wasn't the hero banner. It was, can you buy a product? Product can be purchased, email notifications going out. Is it going to the fulfillment center? If you have a fulfillment center, get the API and get all of that in. Get it working. Then you flash out, fluffle out, waffle out, flower out, pad out the presentation. Because the homepage, the product pages, all of that, that's presentation, right? It's like when you build a report. Does pod you don't need pods. You don't need CP. You don't need custom post type UI with pods. Pods comes with the custom post type UI already. It already comes with it. It will already have the custom post type inside, okay? So, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Oh, damn it. Raheem coming in is blowing my mind now. I've lost where I was. Where was I? Where was I? Sorry, a bit tired. What was I talking about? Products, that's it, yeah. What you do is you get all the difficult stuff in first, right? And then you build out the way it looks. In fact, that is what I used to say to the analysts that I worked with, right? Get the back-end data right. Get the data right. Get the data cleansed. Get all your lookups done. Get all your dimensions and measures, your calculations. Get everything worked out in the SQL, right? Get that all worked out. So the Tableau or your Excel pivot table or whatever you're going to use, Power BI, all that is the presentation. The presentation. But all of the calculations are all done here. Get everything done first, all right? Yes, ACF front end. Front end is one word. Front end is one word. ACF, I think it's called ACF or Advanced Custom. No, ACF. Front end is one word. Front end, one word, right? Go and look at that. Yeah, and it's a plugin that you can go and get. Right, everyone, I'm going to give you the 2-minute warning because it's I've been live for 1 hour 21. I am going to go and eat. Probably go watch Picard. Probably sit and talk to my son. Probably. I stressed the word probably talk to my son. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, sanitized. I call it cleansed. I call cleanse the data, sanitize, you know, standardize. What was the other word we used to use? What was the other word I used to use? I can't remember the other word. But anyway, make sure all your dimensions, your measures, your lookups, make sure everything is worked out, right? It's all worked out. So now you can just link to the data and you display. You want the averages, it's worked out. You know, you want the benchmark value, it's worked out. Everything is done for you. Last question, Kalinda. Go on, last question before we jump off. And by the way, 50% of you said you were both a nerd and a geek, but 12% of you said you're not a nerd or a geek. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Look, if you like Star Wars or Marvel or anything like that, Lord of the Rings, okay, you are hitting in the nerd territory, all right, and that's good. If you go crazy for stuff like I do, then you fit into the geek as well. I am both, and I'm proud of it. I'm super proud of it. Nerd and geeks rule. Pods, what is the name to find it? It's called Pods, Kalinda. It's just called Pods. Pod. In fact, just type in Pods plugin into Google and it gives you, here you go. It's this one here. Here you go. Look, let me show you. If you just have a look at the screen, it's this one here. Pods, custom content type and field. That's your post type and your disinfected. Yeah, kind of, Big Kahuna. So custom post type and fields. There you go to get that. And that should kind of help you out. Okay, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to say take care. I will be back tomorrow as usual. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. Please don't forget to share this survey if you have not already. You got to share it out to your forums and groups and everywhere else you know, okay? But yeah, Pods does work. You don't need CPT UI. I'm telling you now, you don't need it. Pods has it built in. Please do share the survey. I'm going to post it here a few times like that. Please do share it. Please do complete it. There's less than 20 hours now until that closes. I'll see you soon. Bye.